hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip
Bars is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
Ant.
hop,
Oh God. Pop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam Ant riding passenger side. And you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
Man, before y'all start running your mouth and saying this happened a couple of days ago, you late. I've been out of town. I'm just getting back from beautiful Tampa, Florida. I didn't have adequate internet. It's a long story, but I told myself when I got back home, I definitely want to cover this and give my opinion. I think it's a good learning lesson here with this whole Joe Budden, Charlamagne thing. Now, a little bit of the backstory is pretty much Joe Budden came out last week and said he wanted out of his Spotify deal. Charlamagne on the Rumor Report on the Breakfast Club covered it, and it kind of rubbed Joe Budden the wrong way. I'm going to play a little bit of what Charlamagne said, and then play what Joe Budden said, and then I'm going to come back on the back end with my commentary. Hey, before I get to it, smash that like button, share this video. Here's Charlamagne.
Whole podcast, but I listened to that whole rant. It starts around the 64-minute mark. But I mean, it sounds to me like Joe Budden is a person who knows his worth, but doesn't know how to properly negotiate it. Because if you keep doing deals with various corporations and you keep getting trash ass deals, that's on you. Like things like vacation days, bonuses, all of that has to be negotiated in your contract from the beginning.
But shouldn't that be as manager or as an agent or as an attorney? You know, shouldn't they be looking out for his best interest, especially somebody who's done this rodeo before that knows that? I mean, I know my attorney has been through this before, so she's helped a lot. And, you know, shouldn't it be that? Like, you know, there's certain things that I might not know to ask for, but that's what I pay her for, right?
Yeah, and also too, when I hear when I heard Joe like comparing his show to like, you know, Spotify signing Gimlet for hundreds of millions and The Ringer for hundreds of millions and Paracaps for hundreds of millions, I think it's very important to note that they got that money from Spotify because they are actual networks with tons of IP. Those networks have a bunch of shows and other content, a bunch of staff that knows how to make those shows. You can't compare your one show to a whole network.
Yeah, but it's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest podcasts out there in I don't want to say urban, but our thing. Not the, he should be getting a lot more money than he's getting though.
I'm not saying he shouldn't get a lot of money. What I'm simply saying is you can have the number one show on Spotify, but one of those networks might have 6 shows in the top 10. You know what I mean? 10 shows in the top 20. You have one hit show.
I didn't hear the podcast. How much does he say he's getting?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't say no numbers.
He didn't say
okay, I don't know that.
He was just comparing it to the numbers that are out there for like The Ringer and, you know, Gimlet and other stuff like that. But like I said, you have one hit show, but that network, Gimlet or The Ringer, might have 10 shows that are all hits, 10 shows that are all solid. So all I know is that if you keep having the same issues with various companies because it was the same thing at Complex, it's probably not them, it's probably you, Joe. So listen to all the kids out there. You may know your worth, but you have to know how to properly negotiate it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a man who's in the final year of his contract.
Immediately after this went down, Joe Budden was furious and he had to address it on his podcast, the Joe Budden Podcast, and he made some real good points. Hey, before I get to that part, smash the like button if you already didn't do it and share this video. Here's Joe Budden. Stay tuned after him. I'm going to give my perspective on this as well.
Everybody choosing to do it whatever way they see best fit. I'm not angry at you. My issue comes when you use your very powerful voice to shit on something that you just will never understand. Like Dame sat there and said to you, yo, if you're not funding your shit, we're not having the same talk. I'm funding this.
Right.
Charlamagne, you've been number one 10 years at iHeart, fucking mass media conglomerate, and you're just talking your network, but you're not paying for nothing. So what splits are you about to get?
All right, so believe it or not, both of these brothers are right, in my opinion. I'm going to start off with Charlamagne's side of the table and him criticizing Joe Budden for getting in these deals. And we said it on the podcast last week. It seems like no matter what happens, his deal's messed up. He abruptly stopped something. It just wasn't going right. And I think Charlamagne and the whole cast of the Breakfast Club pretty much just alluded to like, yo, if you go to a company like Spotify and you don't have your numbers and your paperwork right, that's your fault. DJ Envy talked about the lawyer 100% agree with that. And I think Joe Budden just took a little bit of offense to it because, like they say, the only dog that hollers is the one that got hit by the rock. But let's talk about the other end of this, which Joe Budden tried to come back with the whole ownership thing, which is, it's 100% true, but in Charlamagne's case, it's just a means to an end. It was a means to getting that. You can't get mad at a dude if he worked at a place and became a millionaire and now he's funding his own dream and say, oh, you ain't do it the ownership way, this, that, and the third. You can't get mad at that. Now, I understand he works for iHeartMedia and all that, but as long as the goal, the end game, the aspiration is to get to the ownership part, no matter how you get there, is how you get there. But Joe Budden, salute him. He did his own thing, supposedly. He's putting the money up. I salute that. Our little old podcast, you guys, we ain't as big as you guys, but we fund our own. We edit our own videos. We do our own marketing. We buy our own stuff. We buy our own building. We are our own bosses. That's the only way we rock. Now, we're in partnership with YouTube, but sometimes that has to happen. YouTube is a beautiful platform to get our content out on, as well as Facebook. But at the end of the day, I think it's a situation where what we can learn from this is that, yes, ownership is the way. But that's like telling somebody, man, go quit your job. Don't work that job. But what if you're in your job funding and getting ready to say, no, I'm putting away $20,000 a year for 5 years. So at the end of that time, I have enough money to jump off and start my own business. Now, everybody might not get there like that. Some people may just jump off and go through the hurdles and the ups and downs like we had to do and learn the hard way and lose and get back up and lose again. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I do have to question. I don't know a whole lot about the situation, but you would think that Spotify will be the pinnacle of success in podcasting. The pinnacle. Another point that Charlamagne made before I get out of here, he talked about Joe Budden not knowing how to negotiate his worth. May be real. It may be true. I mean, just because, you talk about an urban or hip hop platform being the biggest podcast and doing the type of numbers, that may not compare to a different genre that you may be doing 10 million a month. They may be doing 100 million a month. So it's just a different scale you got to weigh it on. So I don't want people to get off and say, oh, nah. Both of these brothers have very, very valid points in this situation. And I think it's just, I'm taking it as a learning experience to say, all right, now me personally, I prefer the 100% ownership the whole way. That's the way we do it over here. And that's the way we're going to continue to do it. I don't really like people telling us what to do. But if the brother, like again, had to go the long way, he went to iHeartMedia, and it was no guarantee that was going to pop off. So just because you were iHeartMedia, you could take 10 of these or 15 or 100 of your favorite platforms and put it in the same position as the Breakfast Club, and it may not have had the decade-long success as the Breakfast Club. It may have lasted a month. It may have lasted 2 years. So just because you're on a major platform, don't automatically guarantee that your show is going to be a success. So just wanted to put that out there, man. I don't think it's real beef like that. Obviously, these two guys can pick up the phone and talk to each other, but I definitely wanted to show you the duality in this and how both of these brothers are absolutely right. And the ultimate goal, I think here's the golden thing here. The ultimate goal should be ownership. Let's get it, man. It's your brother, Old Guy, man. Hey, man, smash the like button if you stuck around for this whole time. Share this video with a friend. Let's get it, man. I'm out of here. Peace.